charge. Luton can win to save their life. They've just completed. The squad has just been decimated with injuries. So, what's your thoughts?
I think Forest will just about make it, Paul. I just feel Luton, as you said, just focus on the nearest club to Luton. Luton just cannot get a result lately. I know they've gotten a draw, is a win or draw there in one of their spots there.
Yeah.
But their last 3 games have been absolutely terrible. They lost 5-1 to Brentford, and then they followed up with a 2-1 loss away to Wolves. Now, they had a few half chances, but I think Wolves were deserving winners. The squad has been decimated by injuries, like we said, and they haven't been the biggest squads, to be fair, Paul. Big Tin, Paul, is I think the appeal you have against that points deduction is up this week.
Yeah.
If you get, I think it was a 4 points, Paul, you were deducted.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong there. If you get 2 of them back, that's a huge.
Or even 1 of them back.
We've won. Well, let's just say 2. They might half it. That means to be on 28 points. I think that puts Burnley out of it, because I can't see Burnley have Newcastle at home, and they've Tottenham away, and they've Forest at home. Now, Burnley, funny enough, the way they've struggled mostly has been at home. They're too expensive to play out from the back. They give away some very, very cheap goals. They haven't won many home games.
But look at the 4 teams, Burnley's form in the last 4 games is the best.
Yeah, but a lot of them, though, Paul, are draws. They messed up big time against Everton away. The goalkeeper just literally was clearing the ball and hit it off Calvert-Lewin and went into the back of the net. And then a pass back where he could try to control the ball, went underneath his foot and rolled into the net against Brighton. Now, there were 4 massive points dropped because they were actually winning against Brighton at the time. And if Burnley had 2 more points to be right up there with Forest, they'd be level with them. Now, I know with the goal difference, that's the trouble with 2 as well. Burnley's goal difference is absolutely terrible, minus 32.
So we do the good news first. The goal difference is actually worth the extra point to Forest. Look at it.
That's right, yeah. So that means they're in the driving seat. Now, Forest, like we said, have Sheffield United away. What sort of Sheffield United will turn up? We just don't know, because that might means that Sheffield United are relegated now, which officially they were. They lost 5-1 against Newcastle United. They're officially gone. The pressure's off. It's probably their second last home game of the season.
Yes, so they could just go out and enjoy it.
Go and enjoy it. Go and, like, if a few players might be looking to make a move away from the club, or try 1 or 2 might feel they have a chance of staying in the league with other clubs, maybe the promoted clubs, for example. So there might be 1 or 2 players there that might want to catch the eye. No pressure. You're at home. The fan, I presume, like, obviously for the fans themselves, is one of their last games to see in the Premier League. So they might go enjoy it. There may be a good crowd.
Yeah.
And it all depends. All the pressure's on Forest. But
can I come in now, Noel? Yeah. This is what I'm talking. We go back to the Man City game yesterday. They played well yesterday. The reason they played well for us at home, there was no pressure, because everyone knew Man City were going to win 99 times out of 100. There's no pressure. But under pressure, they have fumbled and they have non-performed. Away to Sheffield United, we need to win that game. So that's pressure. And what I can see, Noel, the players all year long, whether they're too young, they're too inexperienced, or they're just not, they can't handle the pressure. Away to Everton, yes, they talk about the 3 penalties. Yes, but we were rubbish outside of that. Anytime we've come under pressure, we have fallen apart. No, and this is a pressure game. Because the last team we want is to go to Burnley on the last day of the season, even needing a draw, because I would have given no hope, because Burnley would be, if Burnley could win against us in the last day to put us out, Burnley would be warm favourites. So that's the big problem I see, is under pressure we won't perform, we fall apart, we give goals away. The game against Man City yesterday was almost a free hit. Everyone knew we were going to get beaten, and we missed chances. We probably could have got a couple of goals, but there was no pressure. But the game against Sheffield United, is a huge pressure game.
Yes, for sure, Paul. But I think the pressure would ease a little bit if you were to get at least 2 points of those 4 points back. I think that'll, like I said, that'll put you on to 28. Now, Paul, I do feel, though, that you might just have enough. Attacking-wise, I think you have enough. Defensively, obviously, you said yourself, defending from set pieces, general defending is atrocious. You've been saying that to me all year. But I do feel it. Now, Luton Town, don't forget, play Everton Friday night. And it all depends on the issue with the points deduction. Let's just say you don't get any points back.
Yeah.
If Luton Town can get at least a draw, because I think they're on. No, actually, if Luton Town can somehow get a win in that game,
And
that
remember,
really.
Everton are safe now because they've won 3 games in a row. They could switch off again. You don't know.
That's right, like Sheffield, but then again, like Sheffield United, Everton might feel the pressure's off. We can go and enjoy ourselves as well. And a lot of teams, to be fair, even though Luton have played well in a lot of big games at home, they still lost them.
Yeah.
So, Luton just, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest with you, if Luton don't get another point, because I just feel they cannot get a win or a draw to save themselves lately. Particularly I know they've won one of their last 5 was a win. When their last 3, they've been absolutely atrocious. They've got Fulham at home on the last day of the season, and they have to have something to play for in that game. Otherwise, they might as well just pack it in. So, I know you're not confident, Paul, but I feel that Forest will just about have enough. I think the big hope you have is that game against Burnley is a dead rubber, where basically you're 3 points ahead, Paul, will do, because the goal difference that Burnley have is atrocious. So all you need to do is be 3 points ahead, and the game's a dead rubber. If it's obviously like the way it is now with 2 points, it's game on.
Yeah.
And then of course, if Luton can get a point as well, we might have to rely on the results in that game, where maybe a draw or Luton loss will do it. But I do feel it just about will have enough. And I think the Premier League would be hoping he stay up as well. Now we haven't made friends now with that tweet he put out there last week. But I think for all the legal issues that this will bring up if Forest do go down, price deduction, I think a lot of people in suits and authority are praying that Forest will do enough where the league isn't, there isn't appeals and court cases and stuff like that where things could go very wrong if Forest do go down because of the price deduction. So, and I think you have owners there that won't let that go, Paul. And am I thinking the owners of Forest and the board of Forest aren't the most pleased with the Premier League? So, I think for less of a headache of the Premier League authorities, I think they'll be hoping that Forest stay down.
So there's a small chance that might come into factor when this appeal has been held during the week. In the background, that judge might sway it. They might get a point off or maybe 2 points off. You never know. That could sway the small bit in considerations.
It could, Paul, because look, it'd be very, very messy, Paul, if, let's say, Luton or Burnley, one of them stay up on the last day of the season, Forest end up go down by, say, like a point or whatever, because it won't be on goal difference because you have a better goal difference. So say Burnley win the last day of the season and they go a point ahead of me, and they stay up, or Luton beat Fulham, just to say one of them stay up anyway. And Forest will say, look, we're going, fairly treated. We feel that we've haven't done as much wrong as say. And one thing that Forest will have in their favour, Paul, is the city charges. Where look, we've maybe we've been charged a few times. We've been punished, and you're not punishing City, and they're probably going on there in terms. They're definitely guaranteed Champions League and in the title race. So Forest will say, look, you're punishing us, but you're not punishing the big boys. Why is that? And I think for the Premier League, they'd be hoping that you do stay up, even though you're not the flavour of the month with the authorities, either with the referee tweet he put out last week. But having said that, I do think on the field you will just have enough, Paul.
Yeah. No, I know it's what the last comment, Noel. To me, it's been a very poor Premiership. Normally, 37, 38 points would keep you up. I think it was 36 or 37 last year. Now, potentially 30 points could save you up, maybe even 29. Yeah. So that tells me the bottom of the Premiership has been an exceptionally poor Premiership this year, in my opinion. Yeah. And I think what's happening now, Noel, is we've almost, I would even say maybe 2, if not even 3 divisions in the Premiership, with the top 7 or 8, with the bottom 9 or 10. You know what I mean? And another day, Wolves could be in the bottom 4, Crystal Palace, Brentford, Bournemouth, Fulham. Yeah. I think the bottom is becoming worse and worse and worse. And I just think this financial stuff is any team coming up on the top bottom 3 or 4, they just can't compete. And I'd say you know what I mean? That's just my thoughts before you finish up.
Yeah, I think from 12th down, Paul. I think from Palace down, it's very, very poor. You look at Sheffield United there. They've won 3 games all season. They're on 16 points. I
No,
think one of
just
the
to cut you
worst.
across. I think is it Derby County had the lowest record ever. Was it 11 or 12 points one season? That's the lowest ever.
Yeah, and I think Sunderland went down one year with
Yeah.
18 points. So I think even Sheffield United are in danger of being
Yeah.
classified as the second worst team. Now, to be fair, Sheffield United, the year they went down 2 years ago, they were very, very poor as well. I think
Yeah.
Chris Wilder got sacked and nobody could rescue us at the time. To be fair though, Paul, I think when they came up from the championship, I think they sold some of their best players to, like you said, the financial issues they're having.
Yeah.
They got the parachute payment, which they'll get at the end of the season. They get 100 million for going down, and they'll probably be coming up, or they'll probably be in the playoffs or
Yeah.
challenging first or second again next year. But with the same yo-yo, they're a yo-yo club now at the moment. They used to be accused of West Brom used to be accused of that a few years ago, where they come up one year, go down the next year, come up again. Norwich City, the same thing. There are certain teams, Paul, that just cannot get to grips with the Premier League. They go up one year, they come down, and the fans will be thinking, what's the point? I mean, seeing great football in the Championship and going up, but then not really competing in the Premier League because the owners have to balance the
Yeah, but
books.
no, the other side of that coin is if you go up and you start spending bad and things go wrong and you get relegated, you go into a spiral. So I see nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know, but I suppose from a fans' point of view, is they want to at least be able to compete. Now, to be fair to Luton, they've already been taken, and they have actually done very well. I still think they're going to go down, but my God, they've given a right crack at it. Now, the points deductions might have made it a bit more favourable than what it should be, because if Forest and Everton had done things right, there wouldn't be a relegation battle at all. The Luton, Burnley, and Sheffield United would be going down anyway.
Yeah.
But I think from a fan's point of view, they do want to spend some bit of money and not go crazy like Paul. But I think if Forest stay up, Paul, and if they can manage the financial situation better in next year, for example, to make sure either they sell some players out the door that they don't need, some players that haven't performed, and then maybe bring through some of the young players that they might have a chance next season and to be more stable. No, there's a lot in that.
I come in there, Noel. That's not going to happen because, in my opinion, the behind the scenes are a shambles. I've been talking about it last year. I've been talking about it this year. Allegedly, at the start of this season, the owner's son was involved in buying in players, and his only qualification was his daddy writes the checks. Now that's a big qualification, but that's all it is with that. They bought 9 players on the last year, the transfer window there in August. There are shambles behind the club. Now I know there's 6 or 7 players gone at the end of the season. They're letting them off. They were on all these free transfers and did all these contracts and everything was and they're getting rid of
Harry Arter.
Good old Harry Arter. And you know what? I don't blame him. Fair play to him. He got it anyway, but it's just behind the scenes. They're a shambles, and unless that solves, we'll be in the exact same position next year, even if we avoid relegation.
The only thing is, Paul, I just wonder, the players he bought in, I just wonder how long the contracts are. Because if
I haven't a clue, no, but they're on huge wages, Noel. And
that's what's killing me. That's what's killing a lot of clubs. And look, if you can stay up, that's manageable. But the only trouble is, like you said, wages. If clubs just say a big if now, if clubs were to come in for a few of your players, they won't be able to match the wages, and that's another killer. Where you could have players like going to Fulham or Crystal Palace or mid-table clubs, but they're on unreal wages at Forest, but they're not doing very well at Forest in terms of in the position in the table. But they might see something in some of your players. But then you see the wages come down to, and you're probably getting 30 grand more at Forest than you would at certain other clubs. The players going to stay.
Of course, yes.
So the thing is, Paul, like the wage bill, you have to get the wage bill down, and I think surely somebody at board level has to be advising the
No, again, no, I'm sorry for cutting across you, but from what I can make out, the owner is like that famous tweet was sent out with it last week. Originally, he was going to send it out at half time, and someone managed to stop him with that. Now, this kind of carry on, irrespective of how nice you are, and I accept all them things, but what I can see, he calls the shots. The boards do what they're told, and as I said, there's also some speculation. There's one of these super agents involved in all these transfers, and there's a lot of stuff going on. I don't even know the half of it, but it's not right behind the scenes. That's all I know, and it's the oldest one in the book. And I'll give you a final comment now. If it's not right behind the scenes, you're in trouble on the pitch and everywhere.